Hi, I'm Luna, and this is Radical Realignment. I'm documenting my real time journey from corporate burnout to a life filled with meaning, peace, and freedom. Let's get into it. Today, I want to talk about burnout and what that looks like for me. So, the irony of this is I created my intro video for this channel about a month ago. And soon after that, within the next couple of days, I decided the first thing I wanted to talk about was what is burnout. And I recorded this like 15 or 20-minute recording and tried to upload it into the Hey Gen app so that my avatar could speak it, but it turns out it was way too long and it wouldn't process it. Shortly after that, before I got a chance to re-record smaller snippets, I actually had a huge event that was, I think, the culmination of lots and lots of burnout and me just hitting my absolute limit. So I will describe that. So I want to tell you about this particular day, but I have to keep re-recording this clip because I don't want to reveal so much that my identity is easy to figure out. So I'll just tell you that I was super sick that day. I just was not feeling well. My body was just completely off. I had diarrhea. I was nauseous. My hands were sweaty. I just felt clammy and off. I had to keep stepping away from meetings to go get sick in the bathroom, but I had so many meetings and I had so much work to do that there was no way I could call in sick or just like step away because there was just a lot of work to do. But my breaking point hit right after an extremely stressful meeting. There were also some audible things, like I was having sensory overload in my body. There were some audible things going on in my house and outside of my house that were adding to the stress of this one particular meeting that I was in. I was just like stress level, I don't know, 100 on a scale of 1 to 10. It was completely off the charts. And as soon as that meeting ended, I felt like I was going to pass out. And so I sat down on the floor, and I know this is going to sound pathetic, but I told ChatGPT that I was feeling super dizzy and lightheaded and like I was on the verge of passing out. And I was asking it what I should do. And it was like, well, just breathe slowly and try to relax. And it just wasn't helpful at all. So I called my mom and I told her to write down my address. I was home alone at the time. My partner was away from the home. And I called my mom and I said, write down my address. I feel like I'm going to faint and I need you to call 911 if I pass out. I don't know for sure that I'm going to faint, but please just write down my address just in case. And if I stop talking, then just call them and have them come get me. So she did. And I sat there and I watched my feet turn blue, and like the bluish color was starting to creep up my legs. It didn't get above my knees. And it did eventually go away. It was only there for maybe 10 seconds, but it was super scary watching my legs turn blue. And I was just trying my best to relax and not freak out. And I was honestly scared, very, very scared. Fortunately, I did not pass out, and I started to feel safe again within about, I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes. Until then, I was worried that I was going to pass out and that there would be nobody there to wake me up and that I was just going to die right there on the floor of my home office. And so I ended up sending my boss a text message saying I was taking the rest of the day off, which I had already worked 10 hours that day. So I didn't put in for sick time. I didn't feel like I needed to. I don't even remember what day of the week it was. It was probably Wednesday or Thursday, but I probably had already put in 40 hours that week just because I've been putting in ridiculous hours and not taking enough breaks and not eating meals at mealtime and not taking care of myself at all. I've been pretty much just dedicating my whole everything to my job. And I know that's ridiculous. But there's a lot of work to do, and I don't consider myself a perfectionist, but I do have a strong work ethic and I don't like to leave things half done. I don't like to give it less than my best effort. So, yeah, I basically sacrifice my health, my well being, my body for my job. And I know logically that is ridiculous, but it is what it is. And it's how I got to this point. So, also, the place where I work, the expectations are high and there are not enough resources to get all the work done. Um, I am the leader of the department and I don't like to burden my teams with the extra work. Some of the teams are comprised of hourly employees and they just literally can't work more than 40. Otherwise, it would go into overtime and that would be a problem. But even the salary people, they are all at max capacity right now as well. So whatever spills over from their plates, I tend to take it on. And yeah, I know it's a terrible place to be, and it's a terrible excuse for how I got here, but um, it is what it is, and I am now completely burnt out. So that was a big turning point for me. And like I said, that was about 3 weeks ago. I have since made it a priority to, my goal is to eat at least one meal by noon each day. And I have been more intentional about taking breaks. I actually did really good the day after that event. I did a really good job of separating myself from the events at work. I really kind of like forced myself to be the observer and to kind of step back, even though it feels like I'm in the middle of all of the stress and the drama. I just like consciously step away from it and just look at it like from an outsider. And it's actually all really, really ridiculous. So I am able to take less of it to heart now, I think. Also, I went to a conference and listened to a keynote speaker that had some really good things to say about the importance of taking breaks and putting your feet in the grass, and keep a list of the things that bring you joy, and keep a list of things that you can do in 5 minutes or less to sort of reset your mind, and be intentional about doing that throughout the day. So I feel like I've done a lot better since then. I know we're talking here a month later, but a lot has happened in the past month. So, anyway, what does burnout look like for me? I mean, aside from that big, big moment that I had, um, for the last couple of years, it's been kind of the same. I work 10, 12, 14 hours a day, consistently, Monday through Friday. I sometimes work on weekends, but I try not to. And I work all day. At the end of the day, there's nothing left in me to create a healthy meal or anything, good for me. I do spend some time with my partner at the end of the day, every day. But it's only an hour or two, and then it's time for bed. I go to sleep, I wake up, I do it all over again the next day. And I do this Monday through Friday, and then Saturday rolls around, and I am a total sloth. I just don't want to do anything. I don't do any chores. I don't run any errands. I am just doing nothing, like watching the birds, maybe watching some YouTube, listen to an audiobook, but I'm not doing all of the housework and chores and things that actually need to be done because I have zero energy. So Saturday is sloth day. Then Sunday rolls around and I run around like a crazy person trying to get all of the chores done, do the laundry, up the floors, run errands, go get a haircut, whatever I need to do, whatever I didn't do on Saturday, I run feverishly around like a chicken with my head cut off to get it done on Sunday. And then by mid-afternoon Sunday, I am slipping into a deep, dark depression because I realize that the weekend is almost over and Monday is right around the corner and that I have another 5 days of work hell ahead of me. So that's my cycle. That's my routine. That's what burnout looks like to me. I have very little time or energy for friends or family. My aging mother lives not too far from my house, and I feel guilty. I feel a lot of guilt about the time that I should be spending with her, but I'm not because I have nothing left of me after the end of my work week. I feel like I can't take time off because it's really frowned upon where I work, and there's just a lot of work to be done. And when I do take time off, I always have, several weeks of hell afterwards trying to catch up on all the things that didn't get covered on the week that I was gone because we don't have enough redundancy at my job where somebody else just does my work for me while I'm out. So it's just basically like double workload that next week. And it usually takes a couple of weeks for me to get completely caught up. But anyway, so that's what burnout looks like to me. And I am ready to get out of the rat race. I'm ready to get off of this revolving ride of doom and gloom. Like, there is no more joy left in what I do. There's very, very little joy, I should say. There's very little joy left in my job. And I absolutely hate it. I dread going there each day. And it is literally sucking the life out of me. So why do I stay? Well, the money. That's a big part of it. I make a very good salary. And I feel like I might not be able to make this level of income anywhere else, working for another person or working for myself. I really would rather work for myself. I'm kind of tired of doing the corporate rat race. But I have to figure out how to do that. And I don't have a lot of confidence in my ability to generate, like I said, to generate this level of income. So there is that. And I've been there for 12 years. Part of me feels like I know this company very, very well. And I've climbed the corporate ladder to the very tippy top of my department. I lead an entire department of employees, and we have a nationwide presence. So it's a very prestigious job title that I have, and I feel like I've spent so many years with this organization that I might not be of any value to another organization. And I know that's probably ridiculous, but that's the reality of the things that go through my mind and the things that make this a very scary change. So I've been saving up money and trying to be mindful of this transition. My plan is to have 12 months of salary saved up by the end of this year. So I'm going to try to do something on my own initially. And if that doesn't work out very quickly, if I'm not very quickly seeing results or of the fruits of my labor, then I will jump right back into updating my resume and going, to LinkedIn and applying for jobs with other companies, reaching out to contacts and doing all of that jazz, which I think I should realistically be able to find something else within, either build something on my own or find something else within that 12-month period. So that's why December 31st is my target date for announcing my resignation, because I will have, if all goes well, I will have enough financial runway to give myself a comfortable buffer in between income sources. All right, so that's pretty much a summary of how my July went. Oh, I forgot to mention I did go on a couple of business trips, so I was flying all over the country, hence did not get around to recording this video until now, 4 weeks after the intro video. But I did figure out a better way to do it, so I'm hoping that I'll be recording more frequently moving forward. I do have 5 months left before the end of the year, before I announce my resignation. So if you have any tips or tricks for how I can maintain better work-life balance, or how I can be more intentional about taking care of my body and mind and my heart throughout these next 5 months, please drop them in the comments below. There have been so many days in the last 4 weeks that I thought, oh my gosh, I'm not going to make it to the end of the year. I'm going to have to resign before then. This job is killing me. Um, but I think I should be able to hang in there just a little bit longer. So yeah, send your advice. I would be happy to read that, and I'm open to any and all ideas for getting through this. So yeah, hope you enjoyed today's episode. And like I said, I'll be recording more frequently moving forward. So thanks for being here. Bye for now.